Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Beauty Box. I'm Jolie Keith, and this is my Beauty Box. Today I am going to discuss makeup application. The reason for that is I watch kind of the streams and threads through a number of forums, a few of which are the beauty forums. And one of the conversation topics that I find interesting is women of various ages discussing or asking questions about, like, how do I put makeup on? I don't know how to put makeup on, or how do I change my makeup in light of aging? Because the makeup style that you might wear that was most flattering in your 20s is not necessarily the same makeup that's going to be most flattering in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and on, as your skin is aging and you are aging. So I am nearly 40, and I've noticed changes in my skin. I've noticed changes in everything, everything for that matter. After having 3 children, and I'm very fair complected as a redhead. So prior to this video, I have put up a few pictures, and I'm not tech savvy. If I can figure out how to bury them in this video, I will do that. But if I'm not able to figure that out, look for those. And those images show 3 things. They show me with no makeup on. They show me with just lip color on. And then me with lip color and foundation on. My personal opinion is that I'm using Lip Sense as a lip color, and there's all kinds of different suggestions on what to apply when. I think you should apply your lip color first, because I think lip color can really impact the colors and shadowing that you choose to do on your skin tones, makeup wise, from day to day. So that's what I have chosen to do. So right now, sitting before you, I cleansed and moisturized using the traditional skincare line that I use. I have foundation on, and then I have Lip Sense lip color on, and this color is Caramel Apple. It's one of my favorites. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do shadowing and contouring with your makeup. That is not super complicated, but it makes a huge difference in how your makeup turns out. And it can really help to shed years in terms of appearance. We can't shed years literally, but we can do our best to work with what we have to look fresh, because the goal is not to look young. The goal is to look fresh and rested, even when we're not fresh and rested. So there are a few things that I'm pulling out of my beauty box today in order to accomplish this. One is a highlight, and I really like this color contour. It is a Lip Sense or Essence color concealer. It's the white. I really like it. I am very, very, very fair complected, and I also have some peachy undertones. What you'll notice with the images that I showed before, in my opinion, when I had no makeup on versus having this foundation on, I had more character to my skin when I had no makeup on, because of the natural shadowing, the way light hit me, and putting the foundation on creates like this blank canvas. In my opinion, that blank canvas is something that you build upon, and then you warm your face back up using shadowing, contouring, and that sort of thing. So let me show you how to do that, and this is not rocket science. You don't have to watch video after video after video in order to perfect this. Excuse the dog and cat. But you do have to play with it. It is not going to be perfect the first time out. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the sponge that I use. I really like these little wedge sponges, and I use a liquid foundation. When I apply my liquid foundation, I don't have any on the sponge at the moment that's fresh, but I always start at my eyes and I work my way up like this. I always work my way up when I apply my foundation under my eyes first, because that's the point that is the most needs the most help. And then I move on out when I apply my foundation and I pat it. I never pull on my skin. When I apply foundation, see how I'm dabbing? I dab my foundation on and I blend it into my skin as I go. I don't like having a thick layer of foundation on for a number of reasons. One, I'm going to be putting contour and color on. And two, foundation is meant just to kind of blend things out to get a solid base to work from, okay? Some other things I want to show you about my face, and we all have different features that we want to accentuate or de-accentuate. And as time has gone on, right here, this is really pronounced in me. And then if I do this guy, you can see right in here. I use a really good makeup, a skincare line that tremendously helps to minimize wrinkles and whatnot. But at nearly 40, there are some things that we just can't get away from. So this is a big area for me, and that's an area that I'm gonna highlight. So when you do a highlighter, you can use a brush or not. The thing about using a brush is that your makeup is going to be absorbing into your brush and you're going to lose some of that product. This concealer through Singeance is really, really fantastic, but it's also expensive. It is $30 for this little container. And I can't remember if it's $30 my cost or if that's $30 like as a non-distributor. But regardless, $30 for a little tube of makeup is a lot of money. So I suggest using it sparingly and using it wisely. So the areas I'm going to put this, I'm putting it on the back of this brush, and I use the excess on there. The fact that it's not perfect doesn't matter. The other areas I'm going to put this in is going to come down my nose, and then also under my eyes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is more light and more youthful look. I could blend this all over at once, but because I have my foundation already on, I'm going to take the same sponge I used before and I'm going to work this in. At the top, I'm going to work it out in a fanned motion or a triangle, an inverted triangle going down. Work it down my nose. And then come underneath my eye. Down the side of my nose. And then in that crease. See that? Okay, if I can figure out how to embed my initial image before I ever put any makeup on, you can do that at the chin, because when light hits, that's kind of where it's hitting. It's hitting across here. I want to bring those forward instead of pushing them back. If you were thinking of it in a 2D format, where I'm putting the light color, that white contour, is what I'm trying to bring forward, okay? And ideally, I would put a little bit more right here. Okay, see that? I'm not too worried about I'm not too terribly worried about the blending at this point. To me, that's pretty good. And it kind of creates a contrast already. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some shadowing, and I can do this a number of different ways. I have some testers with the Singeance product line. This is called Truffle. It is really a great foundation, double as a shadowing, contouring. But I do find that sometimes with this, a little bit goes a long way in all the St. John's product line, but with the fact that it's foundation, it goes extra far. So because of that, instead of using the Truffle foundation, I am going to use Garnet eye shadow to do this. And let me show you what I'm going to do with this. Look at the side of my face. Kind of bland, except for where I put the highlight. Right there is a bit much, but watch what I'm going to do with it.
Mommy.
Ginger. Hey, Ginger baby. I'm doing beauty box. What are you doing? You got a burpee? What do you say? What do you say? It's okay, honey. Don't worry about it. I'll get it.
You're welcome.
Hold on, honey.
It's me.
It is you.
What are you doing, Mama?
I'm putting my makeup on and I'm teaching other people how to put their makeup on.
You have to. You are pretty.
Thank you, honey. I love you. You know that? You know Mama loves you?
Yes.
Yes.
I love you.
I got you, Stinks.
What is this, Mommy?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? You can.
Uh-huh. That's a foundation.
It's yours.
It is.
You can put it on. You want. And
Okay.
the size of
See that?
yeah.
Gave more definition here. And also that little bit up here. What I did with my nose and I did with my cheeks, watch what I'm going to do. Just very subtly pull that down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And same thing over here.
Fee.
And that's giving that dimension to that cheekbone.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
See that shadowing?
Shall
You see the shadowing, Ginger baby?
I
Okay.
see it?
You do see it. Okay, and the one thing that I also don't have on yet is my blush. In that hard line right there, I will finish out my blush. Now, last but not least, this line here that I took my sponge and gently pulled down. I'm going to blend that in a bit. And I'm blending in with the back of the sponge, not where I had all that color, okay?
And that color?
Yeah, all that color.
I like your hair.
Thank you, sweetie.
Necklace.
Thank you, honey.
What are you doing, Mama?
Put the makeup on. Okay. See that?
Yeah.
Now, next, I'm going to do some cheek color. And let me show you what I'm going to do with that. Okay. In order to do my cheek color, what I'm going to do is I'm taking... Oh, I didn't grab the pearlizer. I'm going to get pearlizer. Okay, so here's the pearlizer. And if you can see the sheen off of that, I'm going to use that along with this this like tan color to help blend it in. And I'm actually going to use this as my cheek color in combination with this garnet that I have used as for shadowing. This right now is too dark, but I'm going to be using the pearlizer to help lighten that up and blend it all together.
Oh, Mommy.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is that
I can use a brush to do that, or I can use a sponge. I'm going to try the sponge first because I can be a little bit more exact with it. And then if I'm not happy with that, I'll switch to the brush.
the brush?
So just a little bit of pearlizer. I'm moving my sponge around to see if I can get it to spread out.
Oh, Mommy.
Yes, honey.
I like
Thank you, honey.
that.
And what that pearlizer doing is it gives me a little bit of a shimmer, and I'm working out that line with that garnet, and it's also pulling some of that garnet color out. See that? It is so subtle. This is without it. This is with it.
Yes, that's it. That's rough it, Mommy.
It is, honey. We do the same thing to the other side. Well, actually, before I do the same thing to the other side, let me come down here and work down here.
What? You gonna start your brush now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put this on the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
It's pink.
Okay.
It's color.
See that?
It's a different color.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gingy, not yet, not yet. Not yet, honey. Okay, Gingy, hold on.
It's pink.
It is. Hold on, Gingy. Do the same thing over here.
It's pink. Where's pink? Oh. It's colored like my pants, Mama.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's colored like my pants.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I've done the blending here along this line. I'm doing the blending here along this line. See that?
Yeah.
My little apples in my cheeks. Got that. And
I
then
can put this on my cheek.
that. I have enough left of this pearlizer. I think that I can work that in. And I'm just working along that line.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Okay.
Now looking over here, right here, there is not enough light to suit me. See how there's a pretty good amount of light between this garnet and this garnet with that pearlized? I want it to be a little lighter right in there. So I'm going to rotate around my sponge to where I had my concealer before.
What is that?
It's the concealer, honey.
What is that? What is this?
And I'm going to lighten up through that area.
Like that?
Right. Like that. See?
That? Want to get some more on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I like your necklace.
Thank you, honey. That gives more of that chiseled cheekbone angle. My face is already really thin, so you can tell that I kind of rounded this out. But if you already have more of a full face, you can make that more narrow with your color. And then this lighter area, you can make it broader, like thicker. And that will make your face look more narrow. All right, so my foundation in itself is done. The only last step that I might do to this is set it a little bit with powder. It doesn't feel wet to me right now, but if I were to set it with powder, hold on, Stinky Baby.
It's okay, Mommy.
Thank you, honey. If I were to set it with powder, I'm going to take the same sponge. There's a term for this in the cosmetic world called baking it. You're baking your color on. I'm not going to bake very hard. I put some dry powder on, and I'm going to pull it down through here, under my eye.
What are you doing?
There's a couple of reasons I'm doing this.
Okay.
When I am living, the area that my skin is going to crease the most or have more problems is going to be in this area.
What is this?
My eyelashes will hit and make it more
What is
messy.
this, Mommy?
That's the pearlizer, honey.
You can put on there.
We can, but we're finished with it. Okay, thank you for sitting it down. All right, there's my foundation. There's my cheeks. So I'm done with foundation. The last thing I would do are my eyes.
And this.
Okay, so I have a lot of the Singen's Shadow Sense colors, but if I had to pick an absolute favorite, my favorite of the Lip Sense Shadow Sense is the Whisper Pink. There are a lot of reasons for that.
Whisper Pink?
It is Whisper Pink. My coloring is very pale, and so Whisper Pink has a tint of pink to it, but it's mostly white. I use it for shadowing, or pardon me, for highlight when I want to save my contour color. Like, I like saving this stuff because it is so expensive for more special occasions. I showed you today because it's so smooth and how it goes on. The Shadow Sense does the exact same thing. It just kind of functions differently. It's a little lighter. Same function. I'm sorry, it doesn't function differently. It's a little bit lighter of an application, and it doesn't seem to blend quite as readily, but I can still definitely use it for the purposes of this. I'm going to take the Whisper Pink, hold on honey lady, and I'm going to come up against the edge of that eyebrow. In terms of traditional beauty tips and secrets, the perception is you want to have an open eye, and part of the way you accomplish that is you keep a lot of light there, that part of your eye. You want a lot of light right there.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's on the shape of your eye, and you also want light against the top of your eyebrow, because that's what gives it that height, like draws it all up. With how you specifically apply makeup in this area is going to be very unique to what your face shape is and all. Look up and Google your eye shape, your face shape to figure out. Oh, thank you, Ginger. Hold on, honey. You can help me just a second, okay?
Small one.
I'm going to let this dry. I'm working that in, and I'm going to let it dry. After sitting for a minute, it's going to be totally dry, and I can build upon it without it smudging. If I'm wanting to blend, I blend now with other colors. But I like this as my foundation. I am very pale. There are some other colors that have more like a shimmer to them. Like, hold on, sweetheart. Just a minute. This is the Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. Most of the girls that I know, they prefer this one. They love that shimmer to it. I like more of a matted color. It just works better for my skin tone. Hold on, Missy Wissy. The second color I'm going to choose to use is Mocha Java. This also comes in a shimmer, and there are times that I use the shimmer, but again, I tend to prefer the matted colors. And so I'm going to use this on my lid directly. And something you might notice is this is not like a color that is wildly contrast to my natural coloring. Makeup's pretty amazing. It can do lots of things, but I kind of like more of the neutrals. And
Mommy, I'm eating my finger.
that's okay, good girl.
Mommy, I'm eating this.
I know, I see. Very nice. I just kind of prefer more of a natural kind of approach to my color selections.
Yum, 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 yum.
So that puts me in the direction of browns and pinks. I don't do a lot with green. I don't do a lot with blue. I sometimes can get into the gray world, but mostly it's tones of browns and pinks and that sort of thing. And then last but not least, I'll do something for the crease. And today, this is smoked topaz, and this is shimmered smoked topaz. And you can see the difference. Shimmer, non-shimmer. And today I'm going to use the shimmer. Oh, sorry, Sticky Butt.
I'm eating this.
That's very good. Good girl.
Good, Mommy.
Good, I'm glad. I've had a chance to talk to a few of my friends who also are Ascendance distributors, and it's interesting how everyone has a favorite thing, and those favorite things can be so vastly different. I have some friends who really love the tinted moisturizer. My mother loves the tinted moisturizer. She used to use a lot of Mary Kay products and
Mommy?
Gigi. TJ.
Mommy, why?
And she switched the tinted moisturizer from the Singen's. She likes that it has a little bit more of a deeper, thicker coverage to it, but it also has good SPF, and that's really important to she and I both. I'm dabbing this with just a dry brush, dry, clean brush. I wash my brushes about, well, honestly, I wash my brushes about every 2 days. I also use fairly inexpensive brushes, and I get them at discount. I give them a discount because I wait for sales. So that is my eyeshadow. Now we'll do mascara. Okay, when it comes to my lashes, I'm actually going to do one of my eyes in the black brown. This is the waterproof. I also have non-waterproof. And then I'm going to use the other eye. I'm going to do the black waterproof. Gingy, I'm going to have to lean up, okay? I've already curled my lashes a little bit. This is the Volume Intense Mascara. I really like it. At first, I had more issues getting the waterproof off at night. But once I worked with it, the biggest... I know, I love you too. The biggest change that I made wasn't my product that I was using to take my mascara off with. The biggest change was the washcloth that I used. I went to a Norwax washcloth to remove my mascara, and it comes off like that. And that's so much better than using a bunch of chemicals on my eyes, because my eyes are super sensitive, and I don't like that. So using the Norwax washcloth is pulling my mascara off much more readily and without so much scrubbing to get it off. You can use a oil-based makeup remover. Hold on, Stinky Child, come with me. An oil-based makeup remover, and it will come off well then if you use it on like a cotton swab or something. But I went through all of mine, and I just hate having to have one more product on my shelf. So I just use the Norwax cloth, and it's great. And if you don't know what Norwax is, you need to ask somebody. Stuff is awesome. This is layer 2. On this side is the black brown mascara.
Mascara.
Hold on.
Yes, mascara.
And this side is the black. I had a girlfriend wanting to know the difference between the color difference between the black brown and the black, and this is for you.
This is for you?
Yes, and for Ginger Baby, and for Mommy, and for anyone else who's curious.
It's yours and me, mine. This is mine.
Things about my lashes. So this Volume Intense Mascara, the way it's formulated is it's formulated to increase the length of your lashes. I do find that it does that. It's supposed to do it like within the lash itself, not just the appearance of the lash lengthening by putting layer upon layer of mascara. It's supposed to actually lengthen your physical lash itself. I think it does that. I've used other...
I like your eyelashes.
Thank you, baby girl. I've used other, and still do, use another lash lengthening product. I didn't use it for a long time, and then I decided to order it in. So I'm using both the Volume Intense mascara and a lash lengthening product. I've only been using the new lash lengthening product for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. And the old formulation of it really bothered my eyes a lot. Like, it made my eyes burn and feel extra dry. But I don't know if they've changed the formulation or not, but it doesn't seem to do that so much anymore.
Chest. You, Mommy.
Hold on, Gingy. some of my lid a little bit.
See how my
There we go. All right. I could put eyeliner on right now, and I can do that. I can't do it on this though. A lot of times though, if I'm putting eyeliner on, I put it on before my mascara, and but if I'm just being very casual, I won't put eyeliner on at all. I only wear eyeliner on like special occasions. So this is color contouring very lightly, but I feel like it makes a difference. What do you think? Can you see the light contrast? And I think it'll be interesting to take this picture as compared to when I just had kind of flat, formal, traditional foundation on. Okay, so that's the comparison I'm going to make, and that to me without any makeup on. So the goal is to see highlight, low light, contrast, and contouring of my skin. My phone went down.